Rachel wrote in to Free Mama TV and she says, I feel like most of the people who are successful at the VA world have some sort of specialized skill. I went to college for a couple years studying some general classes, but I never finished. And I've worked in general customer service jobs, but nothing high level. Is it reasonable to expect that I can become somewhat successful as a VA? Or should I take some classes doing more specialized skills? I do want to take Lauren's course, but I'm afraid I need other skills first to actually find clients. Well, Rachel, this episode is for you. Hey there, my name's Lauren Golden. I'm the founder of the Free Mama and the Free Mama Movement, which is both an amazing community over on Facebook that you should link up with if you are wanting to get into the freelancing space or start as a virtual assistant, as well as a course that has helped nearly 6,000 people over the last 5 years get started in virtual work, which is really, really amazing. This episode, we are all about answering Rachel's question because it is probably a question that you have on your mind as well. And it is a topic that comes up a lot in the Free Mama movement because we are constantly paranoid about whether or not we have enough skills to actually get started. So in today's episode, I'm actually breaking down the difference between hard skills, soft skills, and as somebody who both worked as a very successful freelancer and now has taught other people to do the same, and I've hired freelancers to work on my team, I can tell you the most desired and sought after characteristic of a virtual assistant, and it might not be what you think it is. So Rachel's concerns are totally valid. A lot of us start to think about what if I left my 9 to 5, or what if I just started freelancing as a side gig, and we automatically focus on hard skills. So let's define what we're talking about first, the difference between hard skills and soft skills. Hard skills are like your job related knowledge. A lot of times these skills are transferable, by the way, but we won't get into that in today's video, but it's the technical stuff, the stuff you have to do for your boss or your client. It might need software, it might require systems, but it's like the actual duties that you typically focus on. And like when you go back and you like make a resume and you're like typing all the things you did, a lot of people focus on hard skills. The first good news is that you don't even need a resume as a virtual assistant or freelancer, which is awesome. But there's more good news. And that's that most people are actually hiring for your soft skills. So if you are super concerned that you don't have enough hard skills, you don't know all the softwares or all the platforms or all the lingo or all of the technical work that goes into being a virtual assistant, and that's preventing you from getting started, then I have some seriously good news for you, because soft skills, on the other hand, are personal qualities that are actually a much better indicator of success in really any type of career. Things like effective communication, integrity, creativity, or problem solving. Now, problem solving is kind of an indicator of where we're going in this video, because the truth is all businesses solve a problem. So what is that number one soft skill that you need to have that trumps all of the hard skills, all your familiarity with programs like Infusionsoft or ActiveCampaign? Because at the end of the day, a lot of clients don't really care as long as you have and know how to articulate that you have this one soft skill. It all comes down to resourcefulness. So you could emphasize going and learning ActiveCampaign, but what happens when you start working with a client and find out that's not actually the software program that they use in their business? If you're not resourceful, you're not actually going to be able to solve their problems. You could try to learn every software out there, but we live in a very rapid moving environment online. And so you're always going to be behind because it is impossible to know everything. But instead, if you sharpen this one tool in your soft skills toolkit, resourcefulness, you will be good to go no matter what the circumstances. I love to define words on this channel because I think it's very important that we all are on the same page when we are talking about certain topics. And resourcefulness, according to Google, is defined as the ability to find quick and clever ways to overcome difficulties. Don't know Infusionsoft? No problem. Find a quick and clever way to figure it out. Never heard of ActiveCampaign? Awesome. Go Google it. And the rest of today's video, we are going to talk about, there are two things that we're typically looking for when we talk about being resourceful and ways that you can demonstrate it. And then I have 3 strategies for you to become a more resourceful person so that you are able to demonstrate that to prospective clients as well as current clients, and make sure that you are then able to position yourself to charge more money and stay on that long-term retainer by helping them solve their problems as well. So when it comes to being resourceful or solving problems or finding those quick and clever ways to overcome difficulties, there are usually 2 solutions that we're after. And it's very helpful if before you go try to solve the problem, you think about which box is your answer likely in. And it comes down to 2 questions. Is it a who do I need to know type of resourceful question? Or is it a what do I need to know type of resourceful question? Now, when it comes to your who's, again, I want to give a shout out to the Free Mama Movement Facebook group, because if you ever need to jump on a call and get a quick question answered, you need to network with a certain type of business owner, you're looking for leads or referrals or friends or accountability partners, you have a who problem that your resources, it's a person. The thing that you need is a person that's going to guide you to solving and overcoming that difficulty. More often than not, we find that we gravitate towards the what do I need to know? And we forget that people can be really tremendous resources for us as well. So remember, there's the two buckets. There's the who do I need to know or what do I need to know? Now, those three strategies that I'm going to give you for being resourceful and therefore giving you the confidence to start before you actually feel ready, because again, those hard skills, you're always going to be working on those. You're never going to know everything. It's just not possible. But if you can feel confident in your soft skills, you will know how to sell yourself and your clients will trust you because you will have that can figure it out attitude. So here are those three strategies for you. The first is brainstorm. Now, a lot of times we just go, I don't know this, I can't do this. And we immediately start beating ourselves up and feeling small. And like our friend Rachel, maybe we go into comparison mode. We see the people who are ahead of us and we're just like, should I even bother? Can I even get started with this? Instead of saying, how can I get started with this? Or who can help me get started with it? Me, I can help you get started with it. Okay, so when it comes to our first strategy, brainstorm, what we're talking about is literally listing all of the possible solutions. So if being resourceful is about finding that quick response to a challenge or a difficulty or an obstacle, brainstorming is a technique where we list all of the possible solutions. And here's what's important to remember. Not all of them are going to be good or right, or you might not know if they're good or right for you until you actually try them. One of my favorite examples of this happening to me inside of my business, I had a team at the time, but I was still in charge of running Facebook ads for my business. So I was running paid traffic. It was the most important thing for telling new people about the Free Mama movement and what I was doing and how I was trying to help people. And I lost my Facebook ads account. It got flagged for something from a robot or whatever. And I tried to appeal it, but it was taking for forever. This was several years ago. And I panicked. I completely freaked out and got really emotional and overreacted instead of remembering that I'm resourceful. It felt like one of those moments of like, I can't do this instead of how can I do this? So I had to go to the root of the problem. The root of the problem on the one hand was, of course, continuing to appeal to get my Facebook ad account back. But the real challenge that I had to overcome and be resourceful with was I need traffic for my business, meaning I need eyeballs or I need leads. I need to reach more people so that I can try to help them with what my company does. So if the problem is I need more leads or I need more traffic, what I was advised to do by my mindset coach at the time, which was very helpful because he was able to help remind me of how can I figure this out? How can I be more resourceful? I list all the possible solutions. Well, it turns out there's a lot of ways to get traffic. There's organic ways, there's Instagram, there's YouTube. Actually, Free Mama TV was birthed out of this problem that I faced back in 2018. And I decided we didn't launch until January, but we spent a few months learning YouTube and figuring out how to produce this show for you guys. And now we have like over 150 episodes, which is really, really cool. But so YouTube was a possible solution. Pinterest was another solution that we went towards pretty quickly. So not all of them worked. We didn't stick with all of them. Clearly, we're still here on Free Mama TV years later, but Pinterest isn't currently part of our strategy at all. So step number one, if you want to be more resourceful, is brainstorm all of the possible solutions. You can even bring in some of those who's, accountability partners, coaches to help you brainstorm this as well. So just remember, don't suffer in silence. You're not alone. Use your resources to be more resourceful. Okay, strategy number two for being more resourceful. And again, this is all as you're trying to get clients and as you're trying to build your business, but also as you have clients and as you're trying to serve them. They don't expect you to know everything, but they do expect you not to be lazy. And my second tip is to research. It is so easy to do in today's day and age. And yet there's so many people who are so lazy about this. They will just go directly to a Facebook group and ask a question that they easily could have searched and found the answer to, but they're kind of expecting someone else to do it for them. Now, this can also happen if you feel like you're asking your client too many questions. Make sure that you're doing your own research first. Google is literally a verb now. It is like a noun, a verb, and probably every other part of speech as well. So make sure you're actually searching for it. Check to make sure that your answers that you're getting online are credible. But the second largest search engine is YouTube, which is where you are right now, is actually owned by Google. YouTube is a great resource for you to get a lot of information for free. So again, don't think you have to know everything or every software or have every single hard skill out there to get started to serve your clients. Almost everything can be found on the internet. Okay, my third and final strategy for you for being more resourceful, sharpening this soft skill and making you so hireable to potential clients is hacking. Now, I always have to give this disclaimer, even though I don't feel like I should have to anymore, but there's always that one person out there. Hacking is not copying. What hacking is, though, is not reinventing the wheel. So if you are looking for maybe some sort of strategy, or you are trying to, be more effective at design or copywriting or whatever niche you're going into inside of your VA business, go look at what's working. Pay attention to what's already out there on social media or in email marketing or different websites. Make sure you know that it's working before you hack it. And then again, make sure you're modeling what's working about these strategies rather than ripping the person off and actually taking their words or taking their design. But hacking, not reinventing the wheel, not starting from scratch. This is one of the most effective ways for you to work smarter and not harder, because the groundwork has probably already been laid by someone else. So again, you don't have to know everything. You don't have to be the best at everything in the world either. You just have to know how to be resourceful. Speaking of not reinventing the wheel, I want to get back to my friend Rachel, who thought that she had to have everything figured out before she enrolled in any of my programs. And that's simply not true. The whole reason that the Free Mama movement exists, yes, we have tons of free information, but if you're someone who doesn't want to have to reinvent the wheel or blaze your own trail, and you like following a step-by-step process, not just to work on your soft skills, but also to get some training on some of those hard skills so that you're not learning on the job, then the Free Mama movement is the perfect place for you. Now, you might have questions, you want to learn more about it. So I put together a free hour-long training for you. It's actually 58 minutes. I value your time, and it's totally free. And it's going to give you 3 tips for getting started as a virtual assistant. You can just go get all of the value from the free training, but it'll also tell you how we can work together if you want that step-by-step process for having more success more quickly inside of your VA business. I love putting together these videos for you, so keep those questions coming. If you have an idea for Free Mama TV, you can drop it down in the comments below, or make sure you're hanging out with me over on Instagram at The Free Mama and Lauren Golden Free Mama, so that we can hang out. You can send me a DM. I will answer your questions right then and there. And if it's a really good one that I think will help a lot of people, we'll make another video about it as well. So subscribe to this channel. Make sure you hit that bell so that you're notified, so that you don't miss the answer to your question right here on Free Mama TV. See you next time. Shoot, actually, let me think. Number 2, I forgot what I was saying. Dang it. Apparently I'm like tongue twister. That's not what I want to say. Sorry.